Today's Country 100.9, The Bull. Hey, bartender, Lady Antebellum. I guess we could go ahead. Where's my waitress at? It's Friday. The weekend is here. We're going to quickly look at your forecast for the weekend. You're going to love it. Looks like the rain is going to die down a little bit. Just a slight chance they're saying maybe Sunday, but smooth sailing all the way through the holiday weekend, so that's good news. We've got that funny voicemail. It's all over the internet right now, at least on the social media, like Facebook pages and Twitter, I noticed. But I've got the audio from that. I'm going to play that a little bit later as well, plus more of your favorites like Jason Aldean, Sam Hunt, Ronnie Atkins, and some more Joe Diffie coming up as well. But this go around, we have in the studio Mark from Servi-Tech Laboratories. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. How are you?
Not bad. Not bad at all. I love this weather.
I was going to say, pulling into town, it was 65.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
This is gorgeous. I love this. And tell us a little bit about Servi-Tech Laboratories, because offline we were talking about it, and I had no idea. I've heard of the company, but give us a little a brief history of the company.
Certainly. Well, ServiTech Incorporated, which is the umbrella company of ServiTech, corporate headquarters are in Dodge City. We were founded in 1975 as an agronomy firm. To kind of give a background for people who may not be familiar with agronomy, we're talking essentially crop consulting. Okay. You're speaking with growers, you're looking at what's going on in their field, pests, what sort of herbicides, those things. Okay. Well, we ended up growing. In 1977, Servi-Tech Laboratories was opened in Dodge. Then in the 80s, we opened another lab in Hastings, Nebraska. And then in 2005, we opened a third laboratory in Amarillo, Texas.
Wow.
And that's just the laboratory side. Okay. And the agronomy side has grown quite a bit as well. We have, of course, coverage all throughout western Kansas. Then we go into Colorado, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Missouri, South Dakota. And then, of course, with the laboratories, we then do business not just in Kansas, but also in all 50 states and internationally as well.
Huge.
It is. It's really impressive. I mean, you don't think that a company this size is in western Kansas. You kind of think, oh, hey, it's western Kansas.
Sure.
But there's lots of ag companies out here that have a huge reach that you don't really appreciate at the time.
That's good. That's good to know. So you, though, what is your official title?
I am Director of Communications.
Okay.
So it's not just the labs, it's not just agronomy, which of course are major players, and we certainly don't want to discount them, but ServiTech actually has so much going on in agriculture that just beyond the agronomy and the laboratories. We have the communications department, which I'm head of, where not only do we handle all internal and external communication, we also have clients outside of our own business. We help, say, companies like Rotomix with their online marketing and full integration with traditional and new media. Then, of course, we have an LLC called ServiTech Expanded Premium Services, which is entirely dedicated to new technology within agriculture. And so that's been really encouraging to see development of, specifically right now, water technology. As you know, we've been suffering through a drought for the past several years, and we have a great crew that focuses on how do we monitor soil moisture and how do we keep track of what's going on out in the field so we can better manage our resources.
That's great. I noticed here that you've been helping a lot of people out. Some big, like Coors Field, is that true? And Arrowhead Stadium? Mm-hmm. That's some pretty big names.
It really is. We also did the testing for Wimbledon courts.
Wow.
So it's one of those things we like to play those up because those are big names, but really our bread and butter and the people that really support us are the producers.
Yeah.
It's nice to have those feathers in your cap, but really the people who make ServiTech what it is are the growers out here in Garden City and Dodge City and Nebraska.
Nice.
They're the ones that support us in the day-to-day.
Sure. Now, or do you say, okay, boss, twist my arm, I got to go overseas now? Do you get to do those things?
No, unfortunately, no. I haven't been able to. Yeah, Wimbledon. I have not been able to go internationally. I really want to. Fred Vasasic, who is he's our laboratory agronomist, he's usually the one that goes out. Because you talk about a font of knowledge. I mean, this guy, he's basically the encyclopedia of agronomy.
Wow. So he's seen it from the early days. He knows all this stuff. Wow. He's okay. Yeah, and we were just talking about that. From the early days, just real quick, you were saying back in the late 70s, mid to late 70s, it took, you said, 3 weeks?
From what I've been told, 2 to 3 to 4 weeks to get samples back from university laboratories. And so you ended up having people who, really, to make a good recommendation, you needed to have a quicker way to get your results. And so ServiTech averages about 24 to 48 hours to get results back now. So you can get that information that you need for your field out, and you can apply it as soon as possible.
Now, and if it's anything like our industry, which is the reason why I love radio, because it's forever changing.
It is.
So I'm assuming that just from then to now, and it continues to change with the technology.
Well, and you know
what's quicker.
Yeah, well, what's really impressive, and one of the reasons, my background's not in agriculture. I came from news, radio and newspapers, and I was floored when I first toured ServiTech at the level of technology that's going on in agriculture.
Yeah.
I always like to say it's a lot more Star Wars than Grapes of Wrath. I mean, people have this idea of, the farmer standing out in front of his old John Deere with the overalls and the wheat straw in his mouth. But, there's precision agriculture, there's GPS, there's self-controlled tractors. The technology has expanded so rapidly and so fast. It's really encouraging, one, to be part of a company that has embraced that change and is helping forge the way ahead. And not only that they continue to do that they've taken that initiative. One thing that's really encouraging about ServiTech is they look at that and they go, okay, here's where we're heading. We should embrace that and make sure we're doing those things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know because we get people that move to Western Kansas, not just Garden City, but Western Kansas, and are listening to us. And like I said, I'm from here. This is my hometown, and I had no idea. I've heard of it, but I didn't know, and now I know. So it's good to get educated every now and then. About things that are here, right in our home backyard, our backyard. So that's good to know. Is there if somebody wanted to get some more information, do you guys have a website or something?
Definitely. They can go to servitech.com, which is going to give you all the information about all the different areas of the company. You can go to servitechlabs.com if you want to get more information specifically about the labs. But not only that, we are on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. One of the biggest things, we like to say ServiTech's purpose is making the planet more productive.
There you go.
And so one of our biggest goals, not only, of course, to help the producers, is also to educate. And so if you go to these social networks, you can see a lot of information about how ServiTech works and also how agriculture works, how it's changed. We have interviews with producers. We have educational videos. We have all sorts of things. So if people really want to know what's going on in agriculture in Western Kansas, they can learn.
There you go. Awesome. Well, Mark, thank you for stopping by. We look forward to talking to you more.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right.
100.9 The Bull plays today's country like Miranda Lambert.